Hello family, I hope anyone who likes my videos to support me by subscribing to my channel. Please give me the energy to make more effort into videos. Thank you for your support family, and let's start our movie recap. Our movie opens with Violet, a little girl with an overbearing mother named Paulette who is preoccupied with Violet's birth. She sees herself reflected in Violet. The need to demonstrate that she was just as well groomed as any white youngster was constant. They would mess with their uncombed hair, wear no shoes, and leave traces of everything. They were blissfully content and unaware of any potential flaws in their looks. Violet on one, food smeared on their faces. Violet couldn't be considered flawless until her hair was straight enough for her to run her fingers through it without hearing a snap, crackle, or pop once a week. But achieving perfection is boring for an 11-year-old girl. A boy challenges Violet to hold her breath underwater one day at the pool. She does so over her mother's objections. Her hair immediately turns naturally wild and frizzy underwater. She begins to receive teasing from the other kids, and her shocked mother takes her home. As a grown-up, Violet appears to be flawless. A successful advertising professional has been dating her doctor, Clint, for 2 years and works very hard to keep her long, straight hair in place. Their connection remains tight as her mother works to maintain Violet the epitome of perfection. However, after leaving her work to pursue a career as a model, Paulette and Violet's father become distant from them. One morning at the crack of dawn, Paulette arrives to Violet's flat. Violet discovers a ring box in the pocket of her lover Clint, and Paulette is there to make sure she looks her best for her birthday and perhaps a marriage proposal. Paulette straightens Violet's hair while Clint is asleep. Violet confesses that Clint has been requesting assistance from her since April in order for the party to proceed as planned. To Paulette's dismay, Violet also says her father Richard will be at the party and wants her to be kind to him. Violet goes back to bed after Paulette leaves, and Clint wakes up to find her by his side looking absolutely stunning. Clint wishes her a happy birthday, and the two make love before they separate for their respective jobs as usual. Violet makes a fantastic presentation to her boss, who gives her the go-ahead to present the idea. After lunch, Violet meets up with her pals, and the women brag over her upcoming marriage proposal outside. She unintentionally receives a shower from the nearby youngsters. She hires a hairdresser to cancel his other appointments so that she may get her hair fixed there when she is unable to reach her mother. She meets with the hairstylist. Zoe is Will's outspoken young daughter. Halfway through the relaxation treatment, the little girl calls Violet out for giving money to Will's clients so they could take their place, saying that the amount could easily sponsor 6 kids from Uganda. Embarrassed, Violet claps back by saying that she should be slapped and makes fun of her hair. Violet asks her stylist to stop because she feels nervous. During the procedure, it is discovered that Zoe gave Violet the incorrect lotion, causing some of her hair to come out and generate a fuss. Violet accuses the child of being at fault and makes fun of her hair again. Additionally, she requires that we set up a lovely weaving for her birthday celebration. In her toast, Clem praises her perfect and expresses wonder at how violent people can appear so lovely when they first wake up. Then, instead of he gives her a dog by the name of Lola because it is nighttime. She subsequently confronts him at home and informs him that they had been dating for 2 years, much to her surprise. So when she informs him that she doesn't even like dogs, he was anticipating a ring from her. Clint answers, the issue is that he doesn't truly know her after 2 years since she never lowers her guard around him or reveals her shortcomings. Realizing he's not prepared to propose to her, Violet broke up with him after crying uncontrollably. The following morning, still in shock over her split, Violet wakes up to find Lola at her side and takes her outside to relieve herself before heading to work. Her well-prepared presentation is botched. Although the client adores the advertising, she insists on swapping out Violet for one of her coworkers. For the assignment, Violet's supervisor requests that she take a few days off to collect her thoughts. While shopping during her break, Violet manages to catch Zoe shoplifting in the mall. She then makes a call to Will, asking him to bring the child home later. Violet enjoys going out with her female pals. She meets a guy in the club, and he follows her home with the impression that she is crazy. She pushes him to act out outrageous roles, but when they wind up striking their heads and bleeding, she realizes that the day has been a complete failure and decides to go look for Clint. She discovers him laughing and flirting with a coworker at the hospital, though when Clint approaches her, she screams at him before walking away. She drinks when she gets home, sad, and a few more. Before she finds herself sobbing in front of Clint, she takes his items from her room. She makes the decision to shave her head in an instant and really does it. Violet is shocked to discover what she has done when she wakes up the following morning and the booze has worn off. Upon witnessing their daughter Paulette pass out, she phones her parents, and Richard consoles her by stating it simply shows off more of her gorgeous face wearing a scarf. She finishes her task but is unable to speak to a coworker. She sobs in the restroom. One of the women present notices and invites her to come to her aid. Violet makes the decision to try it. She also learns that the group is for cancer survivors, which makes her realize how minor her troubles are in comparison to theirs. Violet apologizes before leaving. However, the group leader offers her words of encouragement and counsels her to own who she is. Violet has grown with time and is self-assured in her new appearance. She also changes her focus at work from beauty to other areas. One day, young Zoe writes her a handwritten letter of apology, apologizing for everything. Violet visits her and gives her the outfit she was planning to shoplift from the mall. Violet also discovers that Zoe harbors hatred for her natural body and hair. She expresses regret to the little girl for her remarks and advises her not to allow others' unfavorable perceptions of her to become her reality. Additionally, she advises the girl to braid her hair instead of straightening it. Violet is able to open up in a way she has never done before after witnessing Zoe's joy when she invites her to stay for supper. In addition, she feels at ease with him enough to sing before they leave ways, and he will ask her out on a date before their actual date. Paulette arrives at her house with a magazine that features Richard posing in undies. Although Violet believes he looks well for his age, Paulette is horrified. Violet also tells her about her date with Will, much to her dismay. On their first date, Will took her to a food truck restaurant and encouraged her to eat genuine cuisine rather than anything pompous. The two then discuss their previous romance. In addition, it is revealed that Zoe's mother left her husband because she couldn't manage to be a mother. As a result, they gradually begin having sexual relations. Once they begin dating, Violet rapidly grows close to Zoe Violet, and the two become quite close. She then brings them to herself. Mother's 4th of July celebration. Although Violet attempts to avoid being asked about Will's job, she finally learns the truth and criticizes his line of work, making him walk away. While Violet pursues him and attempts to stop him, he reprimands her for trying to hide his line of work from her mother. Violet is cut off by him, and he advises her to resolve her issues at work. Even though Violet tries her hardest, she is unable to compete when a male colleague's suggestion to use blonde models with prominent breasts wins another ad pitch for a campaign featuring various women. Her job is terminated. After returning home, Violet puts on loud, upbeat music and dances her troubles away while Clint, who is unknowingly picking up his belongings, is watching her. When the music stops, Clint reveals his presence and appreciates her loosening up. Violet's boss tries to talk her out of it, but she tells him it's been a long time coming. Months have passed after the split. Violet is still appealing to Clint, who apologizes and claims he never intended for her to think she lacked beauty. Then Clint says that the dog urinated on his shirt. Violet then permits him to bathe. Soon after a little pause, Violet chooses to join him, and the two make love the next morning while Violet makes the meal Clint demands. She chops onions while sitting at the table. Violet tells her mother, who is ecstatic that she said yes, that he then proposed to her with an onion ring. It is also revealed to Violet's pals that the wedding is 3 months away. In order to meet Zoe, Violet straightens her hair and invites her to either the engagement party or the party Clint demands. When Violet is asked to attend the party to meet Clint's parents, she finds the request strange but agrees, and Paulette helps her correct it. Violet leaves on her own since she feels pressed and unhappy. She's suffering from her heels. She then removes them. Everyone is waiting for her while seated. Clint and her parents then go in search of her. They discover her alone in a room, sipping a drink. Violet informs them that, due to her inability to satisfy Clint's parents' expectations, she is unable to meet them. She claims that while Violet doesn't know who she is, even Zoe can stroll around barefoot in the open without a worry in the world. Violet responds to Clint's question about what she wants by heading barefoot to the pool, where she dives in and invites others as she is surrounded by tables of people. Zoe along with others. Violet is joined by her 2 companions. Violet's father snatches her mother, and the two embrace and reconcile. Well, Clint observes despondently as Violet pitches Will's plant-based hair products for ladies with natural hair in a conference room at an advertising agency a few days later. After a successful pitch, Violet and Will exit the room together after a brief exchange. Violet boldly walks away. This is how our movie ends. Leave us a comment on how you found this movie recap. See you in the next movie recap.